Hello everyone, my name is Brooke Jerome, and today I'm going to tell you a little bit about positive discipline, developed by Dr. Jane Nelson. Positive discipline is based around the idea of creating respectful relationships in homes and schools, and it is run by the Positive Discipline Association. A little bit about this theorist. Dr. Jane Nelson is the head reacher and theorist of positive discipline. She is a licensed marriage, family, and child counselor and has a doctorate degree in educational psychology. Currently, she is a keynote speaker and workshop leader on positive discipline. So, a little bit about positive discipline. This model is designed to teach young people to become responsible, respectful, and resourceful members of their communities. It teaches important social and life skills in a way that is respectful and encouraging for both children and adults. Positive discipline is based on the work of Alfred Adler and Rudolf Dreikurs. In the 1980s, Jane Nelson, our main theorist, and Len Lott attended a workshop based on Adler and Dreikurs' work, which began the development of positive discipline. Positive Discipline series has grown to include titles that address different age groups, family settings, and special situations. Positive Discipline has some unique characteristics. For one, it teaches adults and children through experiential activities. It also houses classroom discipline programs and parent education programs that are consistent. It is inexpensive training and ongoing support, and has certified trainers across the country who can work with schools and communities. There are 5 criteria for effective discipline through positive discipline. Number 1, it helps children feel a sense of connection. 2, is mutually respectful and encouraging. 3, is effective long-term. 4, teaches important social and life skills. And 5, invites children to discover how capable they are. So, there are also several key concepts of positive discipline. They include mutual respect, identifying the belief behind the behavior, effective communication and problem-solving skills, discipline that teaches, focusing on solutions instead of punishment, and encouragement instead of praise. As of now, there's been little formal evaluation done comparing positive discipline schools to schools that use other discipline techniques. However, there have been studies that show that schools that use techniques similar to positive discipline have seen improvement in student behavior. Studies of specific positive discipline tools have also shown positive results. The role of the teacher in positive discipline is to facilitate a respectful relationships and instruction in the classroom through 8 steps in their classroom meetings. The first step is forming a circle. Number 2 is giving compliments. 3 is creating an agenda. 4 is creating communication skills. 5 is separating realities. 6 is problem solving through role playing and brainstorming. 7 is recognizing the 4 reasons that people do what they do. And 8 is applying logical consequences and other non-punitive solutions. The role of student in positive discipline is to work with the teacher to create respectful relationships and instruction in the classroom. If the student is not committed to the process, then it will not work. Positive discipline in the classroom can be modeled in several ways, but here I've listed many different types of ways it can look. So, they are when a teacher sets classroom rules at the start of the year, has consistent expectations, sets goals at the beginning of a class, has appropriate behavior that is reinforced, remains neutral during conflicts, searches for the root cause of misbehavior, knows that student dignity matters, creates individual plans for students, uses encouragement rather than praise, models appropriate behaviors, provides students with different choices, removes objects in the environment that cause distractions, and listens to students. The advantages of positive discipline include no punishment, students feel comfortable, students decide solutions rather than consequences, it is a long-term solution, and students have the opportunity to develop crucial communication skills. Some disadvantages of positive discipline include that there is not punishment and that the consequences for misbehavior are fluid and not set in stone. In a way, in positive discipline, teachers have a lack of authority, and it is not a short-term solution and needs a lot of time to be effective. In addition to that, positive discipline does not always apply to real-world experiences. Not always, when you're an adult in the workplace, will you be able to not have consequences for your actions. I think at first glance, positive discipline seems like an excellent idea. However, I think the lack of consequence for negative behavior may not be appropriate for 7th through 12th grade. These students have a really good sense of self at this age, and so they may not respond well to the lack of consequences. I also don't particularly agree with that positive discipline advocates for encouragement rather than praise. I don't think that's always appropriate. It advocates for encouraging the behavior rather than encouraging the student as a person. I think both are important. Overall, I'm very skeptical of using positive discipline outside of an elementary setting, and being that we are all 7th through 12th grade teachers, it may not be appropriate for our classrooms. If I were to ever use positive discipline in the future, I would really hone in on the component of respect, and something I would use from the list of things in the way it's modeled in the classroom, it's to compliment everyone at the beginning of the classroom meeting. I really, really like the idea. I think it sets a stage for respect and appropriate behavior at the beginning of the day. Overall, that's a little bit about positive discipline. If you have any questions, please let me know. I'll be happy to answer them. Here I've listed my references, so if you'd like to read a little more on positive discipline, feel free to do so.